Hello and welcome to the instructional video for the SAS Anclaje A-frame. Here you have all the 7 elements of the A-frame, and now we're just going to show you how it's constructed. First of all, you take both axles. You've got the front axle there and also the rear axle, also called the weight box. You begin by putting both axles into the rough position and making sure that the wheels are locked off. And then you can pick up the first element, which is the rear of the main body. This attaches to the weight box via 2 sword pins. You can see the first of the 2 sword pins going in there. And then you've also got the second sword pin at the bottom. Push them through, lock them in position. Then you can lift it upright and move it again roughly where you're going to need it. Then you take the front section of the main arm. That includes the shock absorber as well, and that just slides over, and again you've got 2 sword pins that push through and lock that into position. Each element comes with its sword pins attached via rivets and chains, which means that the sword pins are never going to be loose or get lost in transit or anything. So then once you've got that section built, you can begin to get your 3 braces. You've got 3 diagonal braces with this anchorage. Each one comes again with the sword pins attached via rivets and chains. And then each of those braces goes into their own housing points. Ideally, this anchor is built by 2 people. It makes it a lot easier and lighter to do so, but it can be built with 1 if you need to. Again, you just lift the diagonal braces up into their housing points and push the sword pins through. Sword pins are spring loaded so that they pull back on themselves and hold tight. And there you can see the last of the diagonal braces going in. As soon as that's in, you can then move your front axle into position and get ready to lift everything up. As one of you lifts up, move the front axle underneath, and then you can fit the diagonal braces on. Again, everything is just fixed by spring-loaded sword pins, and then the central sway brace, another sword pin, and then finally you've got the last section to be attached. Again, you can see it just makes it a little easier if there is 2 of you to construct it. And of course, working under IRATA guidelines, generally there is always going to be 2 of you building these anchors. That's it. Once everything's built, you can then shuffle it into position as it's quite light at this point. The total weight of the product is 390 kilos, but it has a working load limit of 250, which of course means that generally it is designed for use by 1 person only, but of course should a rescue need to take place, it also conforms to the standard that allows it to be used for 2 people. It's a fantastic product for use, especially on flat roofs if you have a minimal upstand. We do ask that it's used with a 300mm minimum upstand, of course no open leading edges. It makes an ideal solution when you've got limited access to any other rigging points or you've got no substantial parapet wall. Here you can see the tyres are being pumped up. We've got 4 pneumatic tyres, which allows for it to be used on a delicate membrane roof. it makes sense to pump these tyres up obviously before your weights go into the weight box. Just makes it a little easier. And as you're doing so, your team member can begin to load up the weights. In total, you've got 12 25 kilo weights, 6 in each side. Once you've got all 4 tyres pumped up, it makes sense to just check that all of your wheels are locked off so that it can't roll away. And then as the weights are being loaded here, you can see that the ropes are getting ready to be rigged. And now you can see the ropes will be fixed to the 2 EN795 eye bolts that are fixed at the main body. Of course, ensure that these are inspected every 6 months. We can also inspect A-frames that we've sold if you aren't willing or trained to do so yourself. And then you can rig your ropes, make sure your carabiners are done up, and of course lower or drop them carefully into your exclusion zone. Please ensure that your weight is distributed evenly between your 2 eye bolts. And then one final check of everything, make sure the wheels are locked off. You've got all 12 weights in the weight box and your sword pins are all in location. There you can see the rope protection is applied to the ropes, and then as the operative gets over the side here, you'll see the shock absorber just take a little bit of the weight out. There, very little movement in this product. It's fantastic for use on delicate roofs, as I've said, and easily manoeuvrable. And that is your SAS Anchorage A-frame.